How's it going, eh? Welcome back to Candid Comic Conversations with myself, Brad from Canada, and the Comic Geek Speaks, Shane Kelly. Thanks for joining me, Shane.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Issue
anytime.
4.
Issue 4 of Skybounds GI Joe. Not a real American hero, just GI Joe.
Yep.
They made it separate just to confuse everybody, especially the comic retailers that I really had to sit back really hard to explain. No, there's another one coming out. It's part 1. He said, no, you have 307. I'm like, no, it's just bear with me, please. I think any G.I. Joe fan has actually been stuck with this as well. So you know my pain, but
Oh yeah.
thank you to all the comic retailers that have bared with me. So
That's funny.
yeah, well, I think well, you do all your ordering, so that's cool. But
Yeah,
I
I
do
do.
the face to face, and the guy's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" I'm
I
like,
mean,
"Come on."
I love face to face. I wish it was more viable in this world right now, but for me it's all about it's cheaper to just order and easier for time too. I mean, I love going to the comic shop, but compared to 20 years ago, I don't have that kind of time
No, I
to
understand.
go every week like that.
I understand. I haven't been in about 3 or 4 weeks, so
Oh my
yeah.
god, that would kill me.
Well, as we talk, I think issue 5 is out right now, so we'll talk about that soon too.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
speaking of issues and numbers, congratulations on 2,000 episodes with
Yeah.
Comic Geek Speak. That
Thank you.
is amazing.
Yep,
My God.
we got to record it on the 20th anniversary, the date that episode 1 was released. Episode 1 was Brian and Peter, then they did a second episode. Then by some grace of God, they brought me in on episode 3 to talk some toys,
Mhm.
and that was it. Then they just kept bringing people in, and that's how it rolled. So, but
And
20 years ago.
a
And
mere
it
20 years later.
it's so many people know it's over 2,300 total episodes.
Yeah.
Not all of them in the beginning were numbered and different spin-offs and specials we had. And then we got to a point where we're like, well, this is kind of silly. Let's number everything. Um, so yeah, that's how we came to episode 2000 and really kind of pushed a little bit to get it so that it coincided with the 20th anniversary.
Well, that is an amazing feat, and like I said, I have been listening for oh my God, as long as my daughter's been alive, and that's 14, 15 years, so
Yeah. Well, and not only thank you for listening, but thank you for participating in episode 2000
oh, well,
on the call.
thank you for allowing me to ramble on and such. I
Yeah.
had a blast. I had a blast, and you, fulfilled the dream of mine to be, on a episode of Comic Geek Speak, so
Yeah,
thank you very
that
much
was
for
awesome.
that.
Sure,
That
no
was really
problem.
great. Well, speaking of comics, do you wanna talk about G.I. Joe issue 4?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Totally action-packed issue.
So action-packed issue. You hit the ground running with all the Joes. Well, the Joes you have, Duke, Baroness, and Risk.
Yep.
I have trouble calling Risk a Joe yet.
I do
I
too.
mean,
I do too because it seems so out of left field.
it is, and not for nothing, he was kind of a dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you remember the cartoon, anybody that kind of showed up was like immediately a member of Joe. It just
Yeah.
happened like that. So that's how I'm kind of going with. But
So to sidebar that a little bit, I
yeah,
agree with you because Shipwreck showed up that way, but you didn't get Honolulu
Yours truly, Honolulu West.
from the Weather Dominator. I
no.
wanted an action figure of her. I wanted her to show up as something now. She could
Well,
have been in the Joes.
I thought she was good because she had like a lot of chemistry with Roadblock,
Yeah.
and you know, I mean, she helped Duke and Snake and
Yep.
Roadblock escape the oh, what is it? The
It was the
oh,
they were in the pyramid in the desert, but they were fighting the Energon
the Energon snakes.
looking snakes.
Yeah, and I love that Destro and Cobra Commander, much in a very James Bond-esque, just kind of okay. Well, we got them now. We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
We'll bugger off and let them escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, look for Honolulu in the GI Joe classified line.
I'm
You have
hoping.
to.
There was one time where there was a live stream, and I can't remember what they were promoting, but they showed a little clip as a clue, and it was Hondalu walking through Cobra Base, kind of in the hallway
Okay.
before just her and Roblox got captured again.
Right.
And I thought, great, Hondalu's coming. Nope, never a word. That was like 2 years ago. And I
Oh,
forget
well.
what ended up being the hint for whatever figure they were going to promote. And it came and it went, and it's probably on my shelf over here. But I was like, damn, I thought we were going to get a Hondalu figure because
Never
they've
hung
said
live
nothing's
and
off the table. So I thought, great,
no.
bring her in, give her a cowboy hat and some equipment, and she joined GI Joe after helping Roblox and Duke and
Six
Steak.
shooter and all that. I mean, my
Yeah,
God, we have Cold Slither.
yeah,
We have legit 4 figures of Cold Slither
yep.
coming. So
We can get a
eventually you're
Hondalu.
gonna have Honolulu, you're gonna have Quick Kick's girlfriend. Um,
I have to tell you, every time, and I listen to the especially the Weather Dominator episodes at least once a week. I don't
yes.
watch it, but I listen to it. I play it in the background
Oh, so
at
do
least once a
I.
week.
I took that from you and start listening to my favorite shows and
Yeah.
movies, and I
Yep.
love it so much.
So no matter what I'm doing, I can always just hear it in the background, and it gets to the point where Roblox gets in the truck and he's talking about, "Oh, I see someone back there. I'm gonna go see who's sneaking around. I hope they're friendly." And he unties her and she goes, "Honolulu West." And I sit here and I go, right when she said Honolulu West, and I follow along with the dialogue for a little bit in this little squeaky voice, kind of like not nearly as good, but kind of like Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
Name's not
yeah,
Jack, it's Roadblock. I'm a member of GI Joe. I'm lost. I'm hungry. I'm a gourmet cook. Throws him an apple, and then you have. Come on. You could
G.I.
do a
Joe.
You could do a Honolulu episode, or
Yeah,
excuse me,
figure.
character. Give her an apple to throw to Roadblock, or
Yep,
do a double pack or something.
yep.
We're
I
just
agree.
making you money, Hasbro. Like, you're welcome.
Just
There's a
credit
lot
on
of
the
other people
back.
just like us.
Yeah,
We can pull that
credit on
off.
the back. Idea from
Right.
Brad and Shane,
There you go. Take it.
because
Shane and Brad.
they've never thought of that.
No, never. Well, back to this. We have some current characters, which I said is you have Risk, you have Duke, you have Baroness, and Dr. Venom. Let's just call it Dr. Venom. It's so easy.
Yeah,
They are escaping or
trying
trying to
to.
escape the Crimson Twins, Tomax and Zaymot, and
They don't
through a
do
little
so
bit of
good.
not so much, especially since Risk with his like powers of perceptions. We only have a 40% chance of making this out alive. I'm like, come
Yeah,
on, man.
I would call that his Debbie Downer
Oh yeah, well,
opinion.
come on, Han Solo. Never tell me the odds. Like we're escaping, but they don't so much because the Stinger shoots a missile and just launches them all in the air.
And
And
sort of to my surprise, I can honestly say that Risk and Baroness start fighting the Crimson Guards. Okay, that makes sense. And Duke's
yeah,
protecting Dr. Venom so that they can get him back to base and really make use of him or save him.
yeah,
And Duke says, "Well, now we got a bigger problem, the bystanders, the average people walking around."
civilians.
And then he
Yeah,
surrenders. And I really did not expect him to surrender. I expected the battle to go on and him stop the civilians from getting hurt. And maybe Dr. Venom escapes. Maybe a Crimson Guardsman gets him at that point. I did not expect the story to go, well, we're just going to surrender.
well,
So
yeah,
that was interesting.
especially since last issue when they like Duke and Risk were just beating the trash out of each other. He didn't really seem to have much of a like a concern of
Yeah.
anything else going. So
Yeah.
I guess this is a little different, and it is much more Duke like. And
Yeah.
I do love Tomax and Zaymot. Well, now that that's over, Dr. Manev, how would you like to join the winning team?
Yeah.
How they
Yeah.
have their voice back and forth. I've always loved that.
Yeah.
But
And
they
truth be
just,
told, they really are the winning team right now. Cobra is totally running the table.
oh my God, are they ever? Like, I don't know, like since the first iterations of the cartoons is when, the first episode you have the Cobra just running the gamut and just killing it left, right, and center, and then GI Joe dominates. But like this is issue 4, and there has been no domination. I mean,
No.
the most fighting GI Joe has been with themselves,
Yeah, against themselves, and
which is
they're
great.
just not getting the breaks.
No, so we continue on, and speaking of breaks, this little interlude kind of confused me a bit because you have Stalker and CoverGirl, and they're attempting to secure the brainwave scanner,
Yep.
saying it needs to go back into storage. But the persons that are actually moving it have no idea their authority
Nope. And not
and
willing to give it
are
up.
not at all. So much to the point that they pull their weapons on them. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa! This thing is under GI Joe operation, and the guard's like, yeah, what the hell's a GI Joe?
Yep.
Now we know this because we're fans, and it's hard not to. It's like when you see like Wolverine get a gun pulled on him, you look like at the guy like, don't you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's Wolverine. No, they don't know. No, nobody knows because just because we're in the know doesn't mean anybody else is. Well,
And
I bet. Go
you know,
ahead.
now that we're going through it again, because we talked a little bit about it before,
Yeah.
and I've read it now twice, and so I'm looking at it for a fourth time. I do think that everybody in this bunker in the transport is Army. They
Yes.
are, and it's really only once they get because the next thing is once he says, "Well, what the hell's GI Joe?" You flip the page and someone's sniper shooting everybody. So
Yeah.
the only reason that eventually within the next couple pages CoverGirl and Stalker get captured, and we don't know that until later, is because the sniper from Cobra gets them, all the other people. And I wasn't
Yeah.
I
Totally.
wasn't making that connection. I thought that 2 of those soldiers driving were part of Cobra, somehow got in to steal it,
So did I. But
but I
no.
think they all died.
And my God, I cannot remember her name from the Destro
No,
miniseries.
I can't
I
either.
almost want to say Chameleon.
It could be.
I'll stick with that, and if I'm wrong, there'll be like a little blurb that pumps up. I'll throw that in. Post this, but yeah, Chameleon. I was stuck with Helix, but that's a GI Joe. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll just call her Chameleon for now. She starts like 50 cal snipering everybody
Yep.
and does not stop shooting.
And
They
somehow
realize
Stalker and
that
CoverGirl escape, which is great.
yes, of course, but they're pinned down.
They're pinned down.
So they want to split up. They want to take off. They Stalker gets hit. Stalker can't catch a break.
Well, and at first CoverGirl says you hit, and he says no. He pops some stitches, so at least he
Yes.
wasn't shot.
That's
But he is hurt again.
oh my God. I the first thing I thought is, my God,
Yeah,
this
if
is
we
my
lose
favorite
Stalker,
character. This is my favorite character. Why are you killing him?
yeah,
So they I do love this. Hopefully we finish before I bleed out.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty great. So
yeah,
they start taking off, and you see through the smoke what looks like, as you said, a bat.
yeah. I totally
So
thought it was a bat
so
at
did I.
that point.
And you think they're screwed.
Yep,
They're screwed. You have an Energon run bat, but
and they're still screwed, but
they're
it's
still screwed. Oh yeah, no, they're not pulling any punches.
yeah, but
If
it's
you're a
Ripper.
GI Joe fan, don't read this comic because if you're a Cobra fan, absolutely jump all over it. But no, it's not. It's Dreadnought Ripper with his patented jaws of life or
Yep,
clamps of death, and
Mohawk, sunglasses,
a
but
big
he's in
grin.
total like Cobra Viper armor.
That's what I love. He's got his classic gun with
Oh yeah, the
the
blade sticking out
bayonet.
the bottom. Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
love it so much. I love it so much. And he says, it's been a while since I got to see any action. And he says, I ain't been able to fire one of these fancy laser guns yet. So kind of like, just give me a chance. Give me a chance to shoot.
yep.
But the young lady we're calling Chameleon says, hold, Ripper. These are the same people that gave Mercer trouble words today. These are the same people that gave Mercer trouble. So, bring them in. Bring them in. So, I just like how subordinate Ripper is. That's not really his style.
No. And we have yet to see in this Energon universe, we haven't seen any of the other Dreadnoks, right?
No.
Because it was just Ripper in the Cobra Commander miniseries.
No, wait. It was,
or was it Buzzer?
Buzzer. Buzzer too.
Okay. So Buzzer in the Commander series here, but we haven't seen Zartan yet.
Haven't seen Zartan? Haven't seen Torch.
Nope. Let alone Monkey Wrench and all the rest.
Oh, yeah. That's cool, though. So we pop out to Springfield, everybody's favorite super secret stronghold.
I have read G.I. Joe comics since the Marvel days.
Yes.
And Springfield was Springfield then. But ever since The Simpsons, whenever I see Springfield, that
I know.
The Simpsons comes right through my head when I see the word and they're in Springfield. Like, okay.
They predate The Simpsons, but
Simpsons. They do.
The Simpsons predicted it. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see G.I. Joe's in The Simpsons. Well, in the Springfield, in one of the homes, we see the would-be assassin that attempted to murder Cobra Commander that we thought was pitched to the mechanical vipers and consumed or just destroyed. No, he was recovered, or she was recovered. It was recovered as you take a good look at it. And being examined by Mercer and Destro. And they're saying, this guy's wearing some kind of flesh suit underneath, or it's blue skin. And they don't seem too rattled by it.
No. Which makes me wonder if they have a hint of something, but I don't think so. I just don't think they're rattled by it.
Yeah.
I just think that they know Cobra Commander was concerned of it, and that's all the information they need for them to be interested in it, to see what leverage they can get against Cobra Commander, in my mind.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, and they check out the blade and they're like, no way, this is metal. So it could be some kind of like organic something, but they're just, they're pros. They know that whatever they're getting into is not exactly on the level. So they need to know every angle. They need to know who they're on board with. But they seem more concerned with, quote, as long as he gives us the Energon.
Yeah.
And until they can make their own.
Yeah, they're totally working to their own end to make their own Energon.
Yeah, they don't give a damn.
Yep.
And something that does give a damn is Clutch.
Who's hiding so well right there out in the open. Like 2 feet away.
Yeah. But he is.
And talking, no less.
Well, I hope he's whispering, Energon.
I still would think it's kind of dangerous.
Rather. And he's like, that must be what's in the canisters. Some kind of power source. They make the laser guns with it. And we all thought this. The first thing, you think of mass device when you see those 3 cylinders. I mean, it's ingrained in us. Come on. We're children of the 80s.
Indeed.
But then, like, the alarm starts blaring and they're like, oh, okay, what the hell's going on now? Thank God Clutch pops his helmet on. I really think he should keep that helmet on all the time.
Yeah. He's running around a little bit too dangerously without it.
Oh, yeah. But I like this. He's like, what's going on? Keep that body hidden, Mercer. Like, so it's only Destro and Mercer that know what's going on. They think they're under attack. They are not. The forces are moving. And they like, it might be the best shot of getting out of here. Scrap Iron, what the hell's going on? It's cool we get to see Scrap Iron.
I was wondering that. I was wondering if that was Scrap Iron.
Yeah, he says Scrap Iron, what the hell's going on? And you look at the picture, and he's got some scars on the left side of his face, so he is definitely inspired by the
The current classified
by the
figure.
current
Yeah.
classified, which is so great.
But before as I'm going through the panel, I'm like, oh, that, flipping the pages and looking, I'm like, oh, that I wonder if that's scrap iron. And then, like you said, you say it down there. So that was cool. I didn't
Yeah, I loved
expect
it.
another reveal of a Cobra guy.
Yeah, and it's just all Easter eggs because we know these things, but
Yeah.
it's like it's now this world knows it. And he's like, the commander didn't tell you. He wants everyone to head to a new location. And Mercer's like, yeah, you're not gonna like this, boss.
Yeah.
We're going home. Now, this would be quite the kick in the groin.
Yes, it would.
But
Especially since they were
Mars
already at Springfield.
I know they were right there, and it looked perfect. Like all the houses were really cold and cool and very clandestine. But yeah, no, they're heading to Mars, and where they have the brainwave scanner, and you have, like I said, the young lady we're going to call Chameleon, and you got Ripper just sitting there chilling out. Say, okay,
Yep.
bring it out. It's in a truck. Chill out. We're good. But there's really no chilling out at all from Destro and Mercer, because he's like, what are we doing here? This, like, we are a publicly traded company. Why are
Yeah.
we bringing this kind of heat?
Yep.
So,
Why am I being compromised?
well, he's told he's being compromised because they're being brought Eurotrash.
Yep.
And the gang's all here. And you have the Crimson Twins, and they have Dr. Monev or Venom. So everybody is at Mars. It makes sense to bring Monev to Mars because you got the brainwave scanner.
Yeah.
And
And
one would think he knows how to use it.
And really, at this point, you can say all of the main Cobra players are at Mars.
Yes. Yeah, it looks that way. And like I says, as I'm looking at Ripper, it doesn't look right with him wearing the Cobra
Viper suit.
uniform.
Yeah.
Looks cool, but it just
But it's
doesn't look
weird.
right. And looks like everybody without a Viper helmet is about 6'8", 6'9". They're very very large people that you don't want to mess with. And I guess only the cool guys don't get sleeves. So I'm down with that. But yeah, Monev says, like, listen, this scanner was built to help people. It can alter memories, remove them, or implant them. The government thought it was dangerous, but Commander's like, it is.
Yep.
Good thing it's ours.
Get a great splash page of him standing on top of a hiss.
I love that. Now, I don't care who you are and what allegiance you have. The Hiss tank is the coolest toy, anything in the world. The weird tracks, the guns, everything. It does not get any better.
Now, of course, as a kid, I did not realize this, but I was asking for a Hiss tank for Christmas, and my mom and dad got me one year. I have a picture of it.
Sweet.
It was the Sears Crimson Hiss tank with the MMS behind it, and I was like, "This is dumb. It's not even black. What is this?" Because 12 years old, 13 years old, I didn't understand.
No.
So I was a little disappointed at first. And then as I had it and played with it, of course it was just cool because I had it.
Of course.
And then they started coming out, and it wasn't called, I don't think it was called the Crimson Hiss. Maybe it was. I'd have to find the box online and look.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But then they started coming out with Crimson Guardsman and Tomax and Zaymod in the figures. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool because now I can put them with this and this is their tank. So even if it wasn't meant to be that, I played it like that.
Of course.
And then
that worked out well.
I hit like 19 and I was getting into comics really heavily. And I gave all of my G.I. Joe toys away, including that. That's the one piece that now I could kick myself in the ass for that. I should have kept that like crazy. I kept a couple little things and I have them in the one display cabinet over there. But man, I should have kept that Hiss tank. And every now and then I search for it. It's just, even open, it's too much money.
Oh yeah. Well,
But yeah, so I
that's so
didn't
cool.
have a regular His Tank, but I had the Sears exclusive
You had
Crimson
the
His Tank.
Well,
Yep.
I remember when I was a kid, um, you saw commercials for the toys and everything, and the first toy, or not the first toy, naturally, I remember seeing the Duke and Storm Shadow face off
Mhm.
with the toys, and the one kid flipping Storm Shadow over, and I always loved that so much. But
Yeah.
they had little cartoon interludes
Yeah,
with
they
some of
did.
them, and they introduced the Crimson Twins and the Cobra Crimson Guard. And my narrow mind never really thought that the Crimson Guard was an array of people. I thought it was one guy.
Well, yeah, so did I at first.
And then I thought that this one other guy was his twin brother. And that's what, until the figures came out, I thought,
Yeah.
okay, so you have the leader of the Crimson Guard is his twin brothers. I guess that makes sense. So you
Yeah.
got one guy leading another guy, but yeah, they didn't name Tomax or Zaymod or anything like that. And it wasn't until Pyramid of Darkness that I kind of clued in.
I can't remember if I read the comic and knew it first or if it was no, I'm sure I read the comic first
Yeah.
before because
I did not read the comic
I'd have to look
like
and
I do
see
now.
what year that comic premiering Tomax and Saymot came out versus when Pyramid of Darkness came out. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the comic was first.
Probably because the comic was just
Yeah.
ongoing, and the cartoon and everything was just a toy commercial.
Yeah.
An awesome toy commercial, and you had all
Yeah.
great toys. And you
They
get
even
more.
had at that time, they even had commercials for the comic in the
Yes.
early days, which were animated as well. And it
Yes.
said, read the Marvel Comics issue of G.I. Joe, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I go online and I actually watch those, and I'm
Sure.
like, my God, this was such a simpler time before
Yeah.
bills and taxes and tariffs and all that stuff.
I call it adulting.
Adulting. Take me away.
I'm not so much a fan.
No, I guess not. Which is why we read this.
Yeah. And have toys all over my desk.
Well, I got a bunch back there. Yeah. So we see that Cobra Commander is going to integrate the mind machine with Energon and create what he calls a brainwave bomb. Now, some of the simpler guys are like, a bomb? You just want to blow people up? Whatever.
Yeah.
And Cobra Commander's like, don't be an idiot. Like, kind of the, you're an idiot Starscream, more or less.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, this bomb's not going to kill anyone. It's going to send like a brain message. Anyone caught in the blast will have no choice but to obey Cobra.
Yep.
Which is
huge.
Perfectly diabolical.
Yep.
Which is so good. And, Dr. Manev's like, oh, no, fascinating. Yes, of course. But, we'll need a test subject and, we're going to have to be forced to do this. And Cobra's like, well, you're in luck. Or Cobra Commander, excuse me. You're in luck because we have guests, which is Cover Girl and Stalker.
So Ripper captured them and brought them into Destro's lair.
And then just keep on bringing them. But when they realize that, they've been caught, you have Risk and Baroness. They're like, oh, hey, got you guys too, huh?
Yeah.
And he's like, they outnumbered us. Like, come on. He's like, calm down.
Baroness makes a snide comment about Duke.
Oh, of course.
Our fearless leader surrendered.
Yeah. And then Duke gives that grin that, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. All of you, like, giving in, giving up. I need you to trust me. We got Cobra right where we want them.
Yep.
And then, which is totally badass.
Yeah.
Because you got them all standing there in chains in those, like the leg cuffs that look very much.
Yeah, connect everybody.
Yep. I always think of Revenge of Cobra when you had Duke and Snake Eyes and the Arena.
Yep.
That's the name I was trying to. Arena of Sport. That was it.
Okay. Right. You're right.
Yeah, and they had like the digital leg cuffs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the writers and the artists just kind of throw that in, but you're almost looking for things that bring you
Oh, sure.
comfort and
Sure.
remember. And
And speaking of that, I had mentioned earlier to you before we started that in true fashion, Duke's captured again.
okay,
He's always getting captured.
always, always. But you know what? You know when Duke was getting captured, he was gonna f things up.
Yeah.
And you mentioned also earlier before recording that like he's cool because like Clutch is there.
Yeah.
Now,
And
does he know he's
and
there? Who
they don't
knows?
I would think they don't know that he's there, but Clutch is going to come and save him. That
I
he's
think
the
so,
uncertainty for all
but
of Cobra.
it just tells me that Duke has a plan.
Hmm.
Duke has a plan, which is why he so easily surrendered, almost happy to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
And kind of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
expecting that Clutch will be there maybe.
Hope so. But was in Springfield. Did he mention that he was in Springfield? He's like, I don't know where I
No,
am.
I don't think that he did.
Now they moved to Mars. Not the planet, like the Mars
Not yet.
Industries. But it wouldn't be anything past it. We haven't seen the space shuttle yet.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh man, I'm loving this so much.
Yeah.
This
Me too.
this is firing on every cylinder, and it is just hitting my young heart,
Yeah.
old
And
heart
you're
now.
and we're getting closer to where I think we're going to have the big win for GI Joe in this arc.
Need a win. We need a win. It
It's coming.
cannot be like that clandestine, that quiet for this time.
Yeah.
Like,
And I wouldn't put it past them to have Clutch help break them out,
yep.
have them destroy the brainwave machine, and capture Dr. Venom and take him back and
Yes.
escape.
Yes. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Now, it always makes me wonder that, like, if G.I. Joe is this well equipped, do they have people within Cobra already?
I don't think so. It's
I'm
possible.
just, mm,
I don't think yet,
I don't think so either.
or at least not
It's
in this
just
group.
like I'm not gonna say like he snaps his fingers and they turn the guns
Yeah. I
on
don't
everything.
think that.
You know,
I think if anything, I think they'll find out that Clutch was able to infiltrate them
Mhm.
and maybe go from there to have some kind of spy eventually.
Yeah. Well, that would be kind of cool if imagine if Clutch kind of like helped them escape, but then just kind of stayed within the ranks of Cobra.
Yeah. And didn't go with them and just kept playing
Yeah,
along. Yeah, you're right.
that'd be
Yeah,
really cool.
that'd be cool.
Don't know what's going to happen, but you know what? The writers have been very savvy and have been doing things that I was not expecting any of
Yeah.
this. It is very G.I. Joe. It is very like adventure, military
Yep.
comics. But I could not see any of this happening. Like I was not expecting a brainwave scanner. I was not expecting to go to Mars. I was
No.
not expecting Ripper.
No,
Uh,
that was the big surprise. I was
yeah,
not expecting Ripper yet.
I love that they are doling these characters that we know, that we love, or that we hate. They're
And I
just
guess
sprinkling them out slowly.
stupid me. We should have expected Ripper because he's driving the Stinger on the
I
cover.
saw that. Yeah.
I did not. I did not even right over my head. I'm looking at
No,
Cobra Commander, the flag, and the bats with their arms up. So there's no
yeah.
bats in this issue.
No,
Cobra
no,
Commander's not even near a Stinger.
but it didn't look like Ripper was under Cobra rule.
No.
So I don't know.
No.
I'm freaking loving this, and I'm
Yep.
going to the comic shop tomorrow, and I'm grabbing part 5.
Yeah, part 5 for me should be here, I think, by Saturday.
Sweet.
I hope.
So we will have to cover that. But
Yeah.
so thank you very much for covering it with me today, and thanks
Yeah.
everybody for watching. Shoot us a comment. Follow everything Comic Geek. They're just killing it. They've been doing this for over 2,000 episodes, so
Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing. Well, thank you very much, sir, and I will see you next time we record.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Night, everybody.
Night, everyone.